ドジャースの大谷翔平がブレーブス戦に1番 DH でスタメン出場しました。相手は昨年のサイ・ヤング賞を受賞した強敵クリス・セール投手。そのセールから技ありのヒットを放ってドジャースの逆転勝ち&無敗記録の継続にしっかり貢献しました。その直後には2回にはムーキー・ベッツがエラーで失点のきっかけを作ってしまったんですが、大谷に続けとばかりに見事なツーランホームランで汚名返上。これで一気に試合をひっくり返しました。勢いに乗ったドジャースは3番のトミー・エドマンがヒットで出塁し、さらに開幕から毎試合ヒットを打っているウィル・スミスがタイムリーを放ち、この回だけで3点を奪いました。大谷の曲芸打ちがきっかけとなってドジャースはこれで開幕から負けなしの7連勝。チームの勢いは止まりません。この試合を中継していたジョージア州の地元局ファンデュエルスポーツネットワークの実況席でも大谷のヒットには脱帽していました。解説者はセールが振らせようとしたボールでしたが、少しストライクゾーンに入りすぎましたね。悪い球じゃなかったですとコメント。実況も彼の身長の高さ、腕の長さ、そしてバットの長さもあって、普通なら届かない球でも打たれてしまうんですよねと感心しきりでした。この試合の様子は日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Join us at Dodger Stadium tomorrow and take home a Shohei Ohtani's 2024 National League MVP bobblehead. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, the right guy coming up right here. It is the bobblehead man, Shohei Ohtani. Top of the order for the Dodgers, down 1-0. Chris Sale back to work. At the knees, strike one. Dodgers have just one hit, an infield single from Tasker Hernandez in the second. Sale's retired the last 7 that he's faced. He's gotten Ohtani to ground out both times. Here's his 0-1. Strike two.
One of those ground outs was a bullet. They were just positioned well right up the middle, and that's where they've got it guarded again. Shohei can hit it out of any yard and any area. But on the ground, he's mostly up the middle.
Sales 0-2. Ohtani reaches out, yanks a base hit into right field. Leadoff man aboard, tying run aboard here in the 6th.
These are some long arms and some accurate eyes. Wow. What a swing to stay on that pitch. And to hit it in the air.
First hit since Friday for Ohtani. 2 stolen bases so far this season for Shohei. And as many tries. Here's Betts. Hit by the way. It's another 2-strike hit for the Dodgers.
I think it's a really good theory for the right-handed hitters to look for that down and in breaking ball and try and pepper that corner. Tommy Edman tried it, pulled it just foul. Mookie just pulled it foul.
Fly ball, deep left field. De La Cruz sprinting back. It's gone! Mookie Betts gives the Dodgers the lead. He got that down and in breaking ball you were calling for. Launched it over the wall for his 3rd go-ahead home run of this homestand.
Nice job. He didn't really have to elevate it. Sale left it up a little bit. This blast is Mookie's 3rd go-ahead home run this season.
Mookie Betts atoning for the earlier error that led to the Braves run. He's +1 overall. Gave him 1, but he's taken 2 back. Ties him with Tommy Edman for the team lead in home runs.
What a treat this is, by the way. You get Chris Sale, such an amazing career, coming off his first Cy Young, facing the 3-time MVP in Shohei Ohtani. And this is round 3. Sale won rounds 1 and 2 with a couple of ground outs.
And again, you see Ohtani looking back on that backswing and maybe perhaps catching Drake Baldwin a little bit. Much like Marcel, he's got that big, long finish coming around, and sometimes on that backswing, you are going to tap a catcher.
He's got him 0-2. But Ohtani, with a good piece of hitting, slaps it to right field for a single. So round 3 goes to Shohei.
And for Chris Sale, trying to expand here to get that chase against Shohei Ohtani, but this one caught just a little bit too much of the plate on the slider. It's not a bad pitch by itself, but that 0-2 count is when you really want to expand probably a few more inches to our right here and off the plate to go for the strikeout.
With how big he is, long arms, long bat, sometimes he gets to balls you just don't think he's going to get to.
He's got incredible coverage to both sides of the plate to Shohei Ohtani. Well, the changeup is a good pitch to Mookie Betts for sure, and that's where Chris Sale went, but you want to make sure that that pitch is down and away, corner and off, or below the zone.
Mookie's still trying to gain the weight back from those 20 pounds he lost with that illness. He hits this deep to left. De La Cruz is back, and it's gone. And the Dodgers have the lead on a Betts 2-run homer.
Slider from Chris Sale. We'll take a look at the location, and you can see it's middle, but it's down. Mookie Betts on it, though, and he has been locked in despite the fact that he missed so much of spring training. And you mentioned the weight loss, but none of that has slowed him down.
He has still showcased the power, despite only being 167 pounds right now, normally closer to 180 from that mysterious illness where he kept vomiting for 2 straight weeks and couldn't keep food down. But he's all smiles right now.
You have to give credit to the Dodgers. We know they're a really good team. We knew that going in. They spent $1 billion this offseason, and it shows. But this is highly frustrating. The Braves have 3 hits today. Just can't get anything going again.
Yeah, look, it's been a really tough start, obviously. You've seen the 2 teams they've had to face are undefeated on the year. They've gone through not just us, but every team they face at this point. So it's obviously frustrating. Something's got to click with this offense at some point, and hopefully it's soon.
And the Braves had Chris Sale on the mound, expecting him to have a good start. He did actually through 5 innings, then struggled a little bit in the 6th inning. Still gave them a chance to win, but our forward key of the game has to be the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chris, he goes back out there to try to get through this inning, and I'm sure that's a product of the bullpen being a little short at the moment. But an 0-2 slider there that doesn't quite get to the spot. Ohtani's able to drive it to right field, and almost the same pitch to Mookie Betts, a little bit higher. Mookie's able to go out and get it, get full extension, bounce it off the wall. Wasn't exactly hit too hard, but did just enough to get it out of here. And then, unfortunately, it was another line drive by Tommy Edman up the middle. They seem to be seeing Chris Sale a lot better in that 6th inning as opposed to what we saw in the first 5.
Mookie, you've had 3 home runs on this season. All 3 of them have been go-ahead home runs. When you think about that at-bat against Chris Sale, he was cruising through this one. How did you get to him?
I was just ready to hit. I mean, he was throwing a lot of strikes. And, you know, I mean, he's pitching really well. I mean, there was nothing else I can really do but be ready to swing.
Yeah, it's just a close game. When you think about just earlier in the game, the defensive mishap, to come back to get that go-ahead home run, did it make it feel any sweeter for you?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I'm still beating myself up about that because that can't happen. And so I'm glad I was able to make up for it, but you better believe I'll be working on that same play tomorrow.
This game was also about Dustin May making his return to the mound. When you saw what he was able to do, his efficiency, what stood out about his performance to you?
I mean, everything. I mean, he was in the zone, got himself out of trouble a couple times. He really just did a great job, and especially with his first time pitching in so long. You know, there were some emotions out there, and you felt it. And I'm just glad he pitched well.
You guys are continuing to be undefeated, 7-0 on this season. That ties a record for most wins, just coming off of winning the World Series. The tone you guys have set this early in the season, what does it say about this group?
You know, I think it's more just the culture we created here. You know, it's a winning culture, and you know, we look up, we're 7-0, but I mean, nobody in here really cares. You know, we're just focused on the game tomorrow, and we've got to find a way to win tomorrow, and you know, the record will be the record. You know, we're not going to worry about that.
Well, congratulations on this one tonight, Mookie.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. 3rd time through the order. Shohei leads it off with a base hit in the 6th inning.
I love the approach here. Shohei, foot down, just trying to put the ball in play. 2-strike approach. We talked about in the pregame show. Squares it up.
And Nomar, here is Mookie. He gets one middle of the plate and drives it out.
You know, we've seen some breaking balls over the middle of the plate from Sale, but even though it's Chris Sale, it's not that easy to square up. Mookie Betts does an excellent job staying on this ball, puts a great swing on it, and drives it out of the park just enough out of the reach out there in the outfield.
You guys have said against a guy like Chris Sale, if you get a mistake, you've got to take advantage, and Mookie Betts gives the Dodgers the lead 2-1.
また、試合後にはドジャースのロバーツ監督も、 1、2番コンビの活躍をしっかり評価しました。打線が3巡目に入ったのもあるけど、翔平がまず投手の決め球をしっかり打って、粘ってヒットにした。そしてムーキーが低めの変化球をしっかり捉えた。どちらも難しいボールに対して素晴らしいスイングだったよと語っています。さらに開幕からの7連勝についてもタイムリーも出てるし、投手陣もよく投げてくれてる。それが勝ち続けている理由だねと手応えを感じているようでした。ご視聴ありがとうございました。これからも大谷選手のさらなる活躍から目が離せません。チャンネル登録と高評価をよろしくお願いします。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。